Today we're going to talk about mineral identification properties. A mineral is identified by its properties. You can do this by simple inspection or basic tests. Simple inspection will reveal the crystal shape, the breakage, which is the cleavage or fracture of the mineral, the color, the luster, or you can perform a basic test such as hardness test on the glass plate or streak test on the porcelain plate. Once you've completed all of these tests, you will go to your reference table, which on page 16, and you will use the luster, hardness, cleavage fracture, common colors, distinguishing characteristics to identify that mineral. Also on this page, you will use the uses and composition for further questions to investigate these minerals. Crystalline structure determines the properties of a mineral. So before you can identify, you have to think about these properties. Now these properties come from the orderly arrangement of all atoms. So these crystal shapes that we see here, these are 6 basic crystal shapes. They are all forming due to the orderly arrangement of the atoms in each mineral. When we look at our notes, we can see that it says every mineral has a definite crystal structure and a chemical composition that give it a unique set of physical and chemical properties. Without the orderly arrangement of these atoms, we would not see the differences that we see. Okay, so please make note that the physical and chemical properties are always determined by the arrangement of the atoms in the mineral. Luster is the way a mineral reflects light. We can have either a nonmetallic or metallic luster when we talk about minerals. A good way to determine whether you have done this correctly is that nonmetallic minerals will have a light colored streak and metallic minerals will have a dark colored streak. When we look at these two minerals, we have our lighter colored mineral, which we're going to streak on the dark colored streak plate. We can see that this is a light colored streak, so that makes it a non-metallic mineral. This mineral over here, we'll streak it on our white streak plate. It has a dark colored streak, which tells us it is a metallic mineral. When we look at our notes, we can see that metallic minerals can also be called glassy, vitreous, pearly, and earthy, which is a dull look. While metallic minerals, they're just going to look like basic metals. They'll have a nice shiny metallic look, while our non-metallics can have, like I said, those 4 things there that all make it non-metallic. But the best way to do that is to determine your streak color as a double check. Hardness is the ability of a mineral to scratch or be scratched by another material. If you look at most hardness scale, it goes from 1 to 10, 1 being the softest mineral, 10 being the hardest. 1 is talc. Talc is the main ingredient in baby powder and cosmetics. It is very soft. 10 is diamond, and most things cannot scratch diamonds. That is why it is so valuable. In class, we are going to use a glass plate. The glass plate has a hardness of 5.5. So if your mineral scratches glass, that means it is harder than 5.5. So when we take a look at this glass plate here, we take our mineral and we scratch it on the glass. If it does not scratch, doesn't leave anything, we know it is less than 5.5. If it does indeed scratch the glass, you could see some scratches on this glass here. That would mean it is harder than 5.5. The next identification property is cleavage and fracture. This is how a mineral will break. If a mineral breaks in clean, flat sections, kind of like a staircase or at specific angles, that is known as cleavage. If it does not, if it has uneven breaking, then that is known as fracture. You can see in the pictures here, halite has perfect cleavage, while fracture has these uneven sections to it. The last 2 things are color and streak. Color is the actual color of the mineral, while streak is the color in mineral in powdered form. Remember, you're going to use the streak plates that you see here.